welcome back to the channel. We are of course still in quarantine and we are in our respective places, but we want to say hello and thank you for watching. Today you've got me, Mari, of course, and
Joven.
Raw.
Lasercorn. Forgot my name.
He really forgot about it.
Sohinki. Well, we went through all the way to Wes, and now he's staring at the camera.
I'm Wes, yeah.
and together we are
NewElementSIX.
That was so unorganized.
It's as good as we're gonna get with a delay, I think.
AKA
NE, yes!
AKA
NE6.
AKA I'm looking to Lasercorn.
Goalpost toast goals.
Toast goggles.
Go post ghost goggles.
We're the goalpost host goals.
The goalpost goals. It's not bad.
I kind of like that. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah.
Guys, after that name, I feel like I need a drink.
I just saw FLitz showing camera. Show that sweet wallpaper for our special patrons that are that have access to it this month.
Look at that sweet boy. That boy is just, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one is dope.
You mean this one right here? You mean this one?
That's dope.
Remember, we got mobile wallpapers and actual desktop wallpapers for our patrons. And if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a cut down version. There is an extended cut version for those patrons in any of the tiers. So we got a link down to our Patreon down below if you'd like to see all the crazy things that we cut out. I think the episode that I watched recently is an hour and 10 minutes uncut, and it got chopped down to 30 minutes. So there's a lot that gets taken out.
Yes, it was a lot of editing.
Hey Mari, what are we doing today?
Alright, so for today's episode, we're going to play a little icebreaker game that Joven came up with, and then we're going to move on to our main subject about ghosts. Who believes in them? Why? And we're going to scrutinize them. This is a topic that shouldn't make us fight, but it's probably going to make us fight.
Every topic makes us fight somehow.
Every topic. Yeah, you blood bag boy.
This is true. And then, of course, we have our hashtag NE6 questions, and we're going to end the day with our Jovenism.
The best part of the whole video.
It makes us a little bit smarter, a little bit brighter, you know? Everybody needs a little Jovenism. That's the thing it does.
Does it though? Or does it kill like 7,000 brain cells?
Only 7,000?
Guaranteed.
Each time.
That's pretty good then, yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
For today's icebreaker, we actually have a birthday month where half of the members of NewElementSIX have birthdays within the span of like 9 days.
Raise your hand if it's your birthday month.
On the 18th is me.
May 23rd.
And I'm May 31st. So that's Taurus, Gemini.
And if you were wanting to know our ages, Joven is turning 55.
Big 5'5".
Yeah, oh jeez.
I'm turning 308, and FLitz is turning 17,043.
That's accurate.
I'm turning 34.
Wes, I thought you were turning 17.
Yeah, no, look, the vampire curse is not great. I'll say that.
Yeah, you don't crack.
We the B-boys.
Oh man, you're pushing it, bro.
Does that mean something else?
That's what breakdancers are.
It's Break Boys.
I can't do that.
B-boys. It's called B-boying.
So we are the official May B-boys. Oh, we're the Maybe boys.
Maybe boys.
No, maybe. Like we might be boys.
Wait, maybe or baby?
Call them maybe.
I saw that coming from a mile away and didn't want to be the one to say it.
I like that, FLitz.
I'm writing that into my D&D campaign now.
I have a list of scenarios that the three non-maybe boys will kind of judge us on. Depending on the situation, they will tell us who will pass, win, or die. That's right, we're playing Pass, Win, or Die.
Pass, win, die.
So let's jump right in here. The first scenario that I have written down is of the three of us, if we were surviving on a deserted island, who would pass, who would win, and who would die. And just to clarify, you'd probably die in the process. Pass is like, you weren't the best at it, but you know, it was the old college try, and you did decent.
Is there food readily available on this island?
There is wildlife.
It's a deserted island. It's all cakes and ice cream.
I'm gonna go with Joven win on this one. In a limited food situation, the person with the most stored energy is going to last the longest and have the most energy.
Plus, I've been watching a lot of Naked and Afraid. I know how to, like, not exert my energy.
These two might expend all of their reserved energy very quickly, and, be kind of helpless. Meanwhile, Joven's just chilling, living off stored energy, and then he will be the rescued one.
I feel like this is a die scenario because once FLitz and I are dead, who's gonna do all the foraging?
I've got a twist, and follow me here because I know that everyone's thinking that Wes would live. The initial inclination is like FLitz and Wes are winning past.
Okay, you can't give me die on each one of these. I'm just saying it now.
No, I'm not giving you die, and here's why. Wes is gonna be out, and FLitz is gonna be out foraging for food and doing all the stuff, and you're gonna say stuff like, oh, I'm gonna like make the hut and things, you're gonna hang back and you're gonna try and do like busy work, and they're gonna bring you all the food, and then while they're sleeping, you're gonna eat all of the food, and they will have exerted themselves. One of them will die. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Wes will die because he's gonna exert himself the most. He's gonna feel very responsible, and then you're gonna eat all the food he brings back.
Going off of that logic, would FLitz and I just not agree to just eat Joven at a certain point?
You could try to eat Joven, but yeah, I don't know if it's gonna work out.
I think he's gonna steal all the food.
I completely agree that Joven is gonna pass. Wes and FLitz are extremely altruistic, both of them, and both of them would sacrifice themselves in order for the rest to survive.
I got a die for you here. I think it's gonna be Wes on the die, and here's why. I think he's gonna go out Robert Baratheon style. He's like, all right, we're on this island. I'm gonna hunt a wild boar. And he crafts a spear. He's like, I could totally do this. Gourd, dead. Wes is dead. FLitz passes.
Pass for FLitz and a die for Wes, and then Joven with a flying colors a win.
Next up on our scenarios, we've got an alien invasion.
Are we talking Independence Day style where they're just there to wipe out everyone?
That's not an invasion. That was like stopping by to see how things are going. It's going to be more or less like War of the Worlds. Let's go with War of the Worlds because that was a little bit more apocalyptic and trying to survive.
FLitz will die trying to communicate with music. He'll be like, yo, let me put on this fat beat for you, vaporized.
Okay.
I think Wes is the win here only because you saw War of the Worlds. In a situation where they're tucked in a basement and they have to be tactical and quiet, that is not Joven. But he could be carried through by Wes shushing him.
Joven will pass because he could get shushed. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. I also will go with that order.
I also think that FLitz would just like talk to them. I think he'd be like, how did you get into this? Tell me about your life. Let's psychoanalyze this.
Joven will be the pass. Wes will be the win. Or he'd get captured. He'd be one of the guys in the net.
Next scenario, we have, we're all on vacation, probably in like Eastern Europe, and we are kidnapped for ransom.
Here's why I think FLitz is the win here. He's extremely athletic and flexible, so he'd be the one that could break out of the ropes and stuff first.
I think Wes would pass this one because I feel like he's going to be able to call upon his Russian prince friend and just be like, hey, bail me out.
I was gonna say Wes either pass or wins because I bet you his Twitch stream would raise enough money. They pay off the ransom.
The Wesley fam is very supportive. They're great.
Can you imagine some Westlings knock on the captor's door and they're like, we're the Westlings and we're here to bail out Wes?
You guys are gonna get my ransom note and just be like, what if we just like give like Noah like 10 cheeseburgers a day and call him New Joven?
We would get your ransom note and just mark it up with red pen, write all the mistakes, and then send it back.
No, I'd get the ransom note for you and I'd be like, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
I think it's a Wes win, FLitz pass, Joven die.
Down to our last two scenarios. Let's get through these kind of quickly. The three of us are on a cross-country road trip, LA to Boston.
Joven gets left at a truck stop because he won't stop farting in the car and they get sick of it.
Literally sick of it. Vomiting out the window.
That's an insta-death right there.
Joven gets left at a truck stop and is brutally murdered by the truck stop killer. Unfortunate. Who saw that coming?
And the last one, we all get recruited and join the rebellion in the Star Wars universe. Who pass, wins, and dies.
Joven for the win because he knows the most about the Star Wars universe.
They'll realize that perhaps he has some information on an alternate Star Wars universe.
I mean, as we all know, Jar Jar Binks is the best character in the entire Star Wars universe.
Jar Jar, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry, Mr. Fix-It.
Mac, what's going on back there? Sir, you must get out in the cockpit.
I'm not gonna lie, it would have made his character so good if that had actually turned out to be true, that Jar Jar was like pulling the strings.
No, Wes knows the most about fan fiction.
What is this fan fiction that you've written?
I see you over there getting angry and upset that it's mine. I got it.
Extended universe is no longer canon, Wes.
My favorite one is when Darth Vader and Palpatine crash land on a rebel planet and have to fight their way through like hordes of rebels. I'm like, this is great.
I think the fall and how sad and pathetic his life becomes, I think, is a bigger take, because everyone blames him for Chancellor Palpatine taking control, and so then he gets disowned by his own planet and then just becomes a clown, and then has like one last in the Clone Wars.
Joven's actually right though, because he suggested it in the absence of because what's her name was gone, Padme was gone. So Joven's actually correct once again.
Okay, are you guys done measuring your Star Wars dicks already? My goodness, it's getting from this size to this size. Ooh, it's really, really big now. So that was our Game Pass win die with our maybe boys. Make sure to wish them a happy birthday all throughout the month. And next we're gonna go on to our main topic about ghosts. But before that, watch this little transition video.
Now introducing the NE6 Pop figures. That's right, now you can continue your addictive collection of pop characters with the very best YouTubers on the internet. Here's Sohinki in his streetwear, ready to do some hacking. Lasercorn even comes with his pet cat. Yeah, he has a cat. Don't fact check this. FLitz is ready to drop his next hot single on SoundCloud. Watch out. Aw, how cute. Joven is ready to go trick-or-treating in his ghost hunting outfit. And we can't forget Mari in her purple cyberpunk outfit she definitely wears. And rounding up the team is Wes cosplaying as The Witcher. No, this isn't a Witcher pop figure. Stop asking. And don't miss out on the Hot Topic exclusive, the angry Wes cosplaying as the guy from Witcher. Hurry up and collect all 6 today. Call now, 1-900-NE6-SIX-6. Please do not call this number. It's not a real phone number. These are not real NE6 pop figures. These do not exist. Yet.
Oh, I have something for this. Oh wait, I'm in a bathing suit.
Why do you have swim trunks on?
He's not wearing pants! He's not wearing I thought those were his, like, this. I thought he was wearing boxers. And just the look in his eyes, he's like, poke.
Who else is in PJ pants though? I am.
Is that a mannequin leg? What was that? What'd you pull up? You just pull up a mannequin leg out of nowhere?
To start off this topic, how about we go around and just say whether we believe in ghosts or what our relationship with ghosts are in a short little concise way, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. I'll go first. I don't believe in ghosts, but I feel like I've had like scary spirit things happen to me when I was a kid, but I think that it was just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't know if I don't believe in ghosts. The thought of it actually scares me, so it's just my way of denying it, but for the most part, I don't.
I don't believe in ghosts. I'm doing it ironically.
Well, here's my thing about like ghosts and the thing in general. Like, you know, at a certain point in time, a lot of people thought that the world was flat. We're not going to talk about that. That's so silly. We know so little about our world and our universe. You know, you got to keep your mind open to a ton of different possibilities. Just because we're not able to test for something scientifically now does not mean we will not be able to scientifically test for something in the future.
I believe in ghosts, but not in the way that people stereotype the concept as dead people coming back. I believe in frequencies and energies that remain that we don't understand, that we're impacted by and deal with in a day-to-day, and sometimes encounter on this plane with the senses we have allotted to us, and they never get explained. So they're called ghosts.
It's all fake! All of it! It's all fake! I do believe that every single ghost hunting TV show is absolutely fake. If you were to catch anything, it would take years to get even just a little bit of something on tape, so there's no way you can do it every goddamn week. I think that FLitz, actually, the way he described it is the best ways to describe it, because when there are situations, you have what's known as a residual spirit. You know, at 1 a.m., you can hear the landlord walking down the steps. Like, that is a thing that can happen. I have actually experienced it on multiple occasions in different locations. We did a documentary called The Stanley Effect, where we wound up going to the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, Estes Park, Colorado. The point of it wasn't to find ghosts, but it was to try to figure out, okay, what's the science behind what can, because it's all a pseudoscience, so like, what things can we track? And we established that the reason that place has so much activity is because there is a higher concentrate of energy that actually comes from the soil, because the type of soil is actually charged and retains energy. This was a documentary we filmed 10 years ago.
The experience that I've personally had that I can't explain, so in college, I was staying with a girlfriend over the summer one time. We went to her aunt's house, and her aunt was just telling us a story about how her son, so he's like playing Rock Band in the house, and he looks over, his friend's in the door asking if he wants snacks from downstairs, and he looks over at his friend, and there's this little girl standing, like the guy's leaning in the doorway, and the little girl's like standing under his arm. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I didn't say that to her, obviously, but I was like, oh, cool, like, interesting, tell me more. And the next time we're back at her house, she has these recordings, because I guess they had like ghost hunter people come in. They had these recordings that they took around the house of like sounds. The sound files are labeled. One of the sound files is labeled like, help me. And I'm like, if the sound file wasn't labeled help me, you wouldn't have heard help me. You would have heard like whatever it was, you know, some garbled nonsense. But because it's labeled help me, it's like, I hear help me. And so for me, I'm still extremely skeptical, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe they got those recordings. She also tells me that they did research on their house. The first time it was constructed, the house burned down and a family died inside, including a little girl. I don't believe in ghosts at all, really, at this point. Still. Then the next time we're at their house, she's like, Matt, I need to show you something. And she shows me this picture, and it's just a picture of the back of their house. She's like, over there in the window, do you see? And I was like, no, I don't see what you're talking about. She's like, the glare. And I was like, I still don't see it. And she's like, that's fine, because I had it blown up at Kinko's. And so she brings out this giant picture of that spot on the window. All she said she did was she took a picture, and it was just a normal picture, and it was a normal printed out picture, but she got it blown up at Kinko's. That spot on the window, you can very, very clearly see a nose, lips, like a chin at the window, and like fingertips up on the windowsill of like what looks to be a little girl. And there's like sunshine going over it. So it's like a glare over what looks very much like, it's like half of a face. It was bizarre. I have no explanation for that picture.
I have had 2 times in my life, once at my friend May King's house and once at school, that I was convinced that I saw Bloody Mary. And it freaked me out. Like, I ran through her house when I did it at her house. And so when you're looking for something, your mind can believe that you're seeing things.
So you guys know when you went to restaurants as kids, sometimes they give you balloons? They don't do that anymore because, you know, places are cheap. They gave my little brother a balloon, and he had this habit of whenever we got home, he would let the balloon go to God. I was raised Christian, but I'm not putting that on anybody else. This time, he was about 13, and our great-grandmother had passed away 2 years before. And when she died, she had said, I see balloons. And she passed away about an hour later. So we got home, and he goes outside to let his balloon go. And it floats up probably like 30 yards in the air and just hovers. Literally just stops midair. Literally, you can see the trees like blowing. There's wind, and it literally is just stuck in midair. My brother turns to my mom and says, Mom, why doesn't God want my balloon? My mom turns to him and says, I don't know, maybe he wants you to have this one. He's like, okay, I'll take it. And literally at that moment, it floats right back down into his hand. This is a thing that literally happened in front of me. My mom runs, grabs a camera, takes a picture. There is a ghostly figure handing the balloon to my little brother. I still have no explanation for that, because even just basic physics, that should not have happened.
I have seen things in like dark rooms, so I'm like, there's someone in my room, and then you turn on the light and it's like a coat rack, and it's like, oh, you saw that because what little light there was in the room was reflecting off certain parts of that, and it formed a shape that looked like a person. And then you turn it on, and it's not a person.
I have an argument against that, though. My buddy was exactly like you, Lasercorn. Did not believe in anything spiritual, did not believe in literally any ghosts. Anyone who believes this stuff is an idiot. My buddy and his dad were amazing chefs, and they opened up a restaurant in this one building, and it was called a cursed building. Like any business that opened up there failed. They opened that restaurant there, and my buddy did not believe in ghosts at all. But this building used to be a Civil War hospital. Bad news bears all over the place. And he worked at this restaurant for a long time, and now he does absolutely believe, because of all the situations that happened to him. One of the most notable ones, he had over a dozen incidents happen to him while at this place. He was doing dishes from the day and just watching. No one is in there. It's closed. The doors are locked from the inside. Here's the door open, the bell for the thing, and he's like, what the hell? No, I locked this. I know I locked this. He went out and checked, and sure enough, door's locked from the inside still. Comes back to the dishes. All of the dirty dishes that were in the sink are put away on the shelves. He literally just was like, no, I'm going home, and literally just walked out, left.
I mean, my relationship with ghosts per se, I mean, I've lived my entire life searching for ghosts and searching for those extra energies and not being disappointed. More, I feel, finding myself in my relationship with the universe. I lost my parents at a young age, and my concept of ghosts, I feel like, comes with that energy is always with me. I call my parents my wings. So when it comes to the concept of ghosts, I don't even believe in malicious spiritual entities, so to speak.
I still don't believe in ghosts, but I do have a story. It's very quick. Sohinki was there. We were on the Queen Mary. I was talking to Sohinki. We were at Schroeder's wedding. I was holding a drink. My wife's like, came up to me. She's like, do you want me to get you, take that and get you a fresh drink? I'm like, sure. I handed her the drink. Sohinki saw me hand her the drink. Me and Sohinki went back to talking. My wife comes back to hand me the glass again, and somehow I have another glass in my hand. At no point do either Sohinki or me remember me getting another drink. It's just in my hand again. And we're like, what? And my wife was even confused. If you were to ask me, it's like, do you believe that a ghost handed you a drink? Or do you believe that, you know, you guys had a few drinks and didn't notice, and maybe I picked one up off the railing or something and thought it was mine? Probably the second explanation more probable. But it was weird.
I'm gonna count it. I'm gonna count it. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, joust!
Joust again!
Oh, shoot! Come on, dude.
Continue jousting!
I want to go up.
Whoever loses the joust must accept their headshotting.
Yeah.
If whichever team loses, somebody gets killed.
How do I do this? What do I do?
You just press shift when you want to charge.
And it's just us on this wire here?
Yeah, go up top there.
Yeah, on the pipe.
Yo, I cannot get up there.
I'm going to win by default.
That's as high as mine goes. Goat can't get high enough.
Everyone else can make it but him.
Oh, yeah, I made it.
Okay, Lasercorn versus Joven.
Wait, is he up here?
3, 2, 1, joust!
Boom!
Yes, get rammed, son.
I will challenge Joven.
3, 2, 1, joust! Ah, ooh, that was a good hit.
Oh, nice hit. Oh, no!
Oh, no! Oh, yes, I am the greatest goat.
All right, well, we've got our NE6 questions. Of course, you can always at us and hashtag NE6 questions to get your questions in. However, our certain patrons at a certain level get a guaranteed question in. For today, the first question comes from Lamiya. She is an elite
6!
La 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 la.
Lamiya's nickname is Lala.
Lala, how cute. She asks, I have severe vision issues. I can only use one eye at a time amongst other things. What games would you recommend that don't require really fast reflexes? This might be a really good question for Joven.
I recommend purchasing a PS4. I think that they have some of the best single-player experiences that are console exclusives. Any single-player game that you can just play at your own speed is the best way to go. It's why I love role-playing games so much, because the story is most important. I stay away from some very text-heavy games. Because, like Red Dead Redemption 2, I had to stop playing because I couldn't read the tiny font at the top left of my big screen TV. So stay away from games that involve a lot of text. Just story, adventures. If you have an Xbox, Ori and Will and the Wisps, so good.
Next question comes from Destiny Williams, of course, another elite
6!
She asks, what was a defining moment in your life that made you realize this job is what you truly wanted to do?
For me, it was the behind-the-scenes feature, 90-minute documentary of the movie Jaws. I saw at a young age, and I was like, I want to get into the movie business.
And then you ended up doing YouTube videos.
You're in a movie adjacent industry.
Yeah, I missed.
I think for me, YouTube was a side gig for many years. To be 100% honest, it's you guys that really made me want to do this full time and think that I can actually do this full time. It's ultimately, the reason why Pete and I picked up our bags and moved to LA. I never wanted to move to LA because I figured that, you hear the most asinine things about LA and how it's the type of city that'll eat you up and spit you out alive. I think that I was scared for a lot of years to move here because I'm like, well, what if I don't have friends here? What if I can't find a family here? You guys were that. And so that's when I was like, okay, I'll stop my ballet job that I've worked my entire life for and do something else.
Oh God, what have we done? We're so sorry, Mari.
You could have been the best ballerina ever.
This is awkward because this is the part where we're letting you go, Mari.
We're letting you go from the company that we haven't even started yet.
Oh.
Triggered. Next question comes from Mick Playlists. What's your favorite artists or kind of music?
Hip hop A Tribe Called Quest, Wu-Tang Clan, Nas, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, all those kinds of classic hip-hop peoples.
I'm kind of a mixed bag of people. I like old school rock, and I also listen to Taylor Swift, so,
For the last few years, I've been very much into just outrun music, and highly recommend FM 84 and The Midnight.
Why did you say that like a radio host? FM 84 in the midnight.
I'm always listening to different people, so it's probably different from last time I was asked this question, but Lupe Fiasco, Ninja Sex Party, and Porter Robinson are my 3 right now.
Kendrick Lamar, Taking Back Sunday, Mos Def. I'm really like diverse, and like I can even go to funk styles. Like I'll just sit and listen to funk and James Brown.
I think my answer is all over the place. I think it comes from maybe being a dancer. Like sometimes I listen to like really sad songs and love it, and then sometimes it's a My Chemical Romance day, and sometimes it's Outrun day, like Joven. Caleb Bunga asks, if you could be on any reality TV show, what would you choose?
Ghost Brothers, as I just want to go in as the skeptic who's like, no, I can explain what you just heard. No, you see, this device only creates static, it doesn't do voice.
King of the Nerds Season 2, we're bringing it back! Oh, wait, no, Season 2 already happened. Never mind. Bad answer.
Wipeout.
Oh! I want to change my answer.
Is that a reality show?
Oh, yeah!
Supernatural Ad 6 asks, what is the worst board game or video game you've ever played?
Monopoly.
Monopoly's not a bad board game, dude. You're playing it wrong.
How dare you, sir? It's a great board game. You're just bad at it.
Monopoly is the answer.
Superman 64.
Oh, you know what? That stupid Avengers Connect game. That is one of the worst games I've ever played in my life.
That was so much fun!
That was a disappointment.
No, I've already said, as soon as I find a working Connect, I'm making you play that for my channel.
We had to do the poses?
Our last question comes from JJJTTTDDD3, aka JTD3. If you guys had a comic made where you all became superheroes or something like that, would you rather it be published by DC, Marvel, IDW, or be strictly indie titles published through something like Webtoons?
The only reason I would say Marvel is because then we'd have a chance to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I would say Marvel, because the perk of being in the MCU is fantastic, but Image, the perk of owning all of your own stuff, is also fantastically alluring. If you see this month's wallpaper, we are superheroes. Check it out on Patreon. It's by Hierarchy. Hierarchy drew us, and we're really working on expanding this universe, so you could possibly see us in the Marvel universe. That'd be fantastic.
I'm gonna throw in Jump Universe.
Shonen Jump? Maybe a manga? Because then we're kind of guaranteed an anime.
Yeah, and I'd like to be in the same universe as Goku, just saying. And Trunks. Oh my god, Trunks. Love Trunks.
Thank you for asking those questions, and thank you to the Elite Six for supporting us.
So this Jovenism coming to you from August 10th, 2015. This is a 2-parter because the second part of it comes a year later. This is a saga, okay. From August 10th, 2015. She's not bad on the eyes. Easy on the eyes is the saying, first of all. Now we have a bonus, because upon hearing us talk about Jovenisms, well, almost a year later, on July 6th, 2016, he said, wait, who's not bad on the eyes?
Oh!
You didn't learn a single thing!
Because the Jovenism makes sense to Joven.
So wait, is it bad that I still want to know who we were talking about? Because I don't think we ever answered the question.
I don't think we were talking about anyone.
It's not about who we're talking about. It's the fact that you didn't learn a single thing in a whole year. Oh my gosh. Well, that is our show today. Thank you all for watching. You can find us on Patreon, on Spotify, all the rest of the stuff. Thank you so much for watching this on YouTube if you're watching, and if you're listening, thank you for listening to it on the podcast. We'll see you next week.
But if I brought it up the first time, I obviously was talking about someone.
You can lead a Joven to books, but you can't make him learn.
You didn't learn anything all these years later because you didn't see what was wrong with this.
I refuse to learn! You can't make me! You can't make me!